Folks, in this video, we're going to make some ham salad. I mean, it's not salad. This is bean salad. Nah, this ain't even salad. Folks, this is soup. We're making soup. Folks, I'm making 15 bean soup with some ham and some cabbage, some tomato. Oh, this is going to be so good. Y'all just stay tuned for this one. And this cooking video, we are going to make the best, some of the best. I love this. I love this soup, especially when it gets cold out. I'm going to use Hursts ham beans. That's what they call it. That's the brand. It's going to be good. Stay tuned. First thing we're going to do, we're going to have to soak these in water. We got water in our pan. No heat. Don't heat this water up. Just soak these beans in this water for 8 hours or overnight. Okay, folks, it's the next day. Our beans have been soaking overnight. I'm going to very carefully drain these through that. Get all that water out of there. Now the recipe really calls for add water back to the soup, but I'm going to do it a little bit better. Of course, you probably figured that. I'm going to add chicken broth to my soup. Now, it's going to be so good. You just wait. Okay, what I got here is chicken broth. This is a family size box of chicken broth. Pop that open. Pour one box. I always like to poke a hole into my box so it comes out faster. I got another box to do. And part of a can left over from some soup I had for breakfast. The rice took up all my broth, so I added a little bit of a can of broth to it to get it a little bit soupier again. But I had too much rice in it. I tried long grain rice yesterday in my chicken soup that I made for lunch. And yeah, I put a little too much rice in there. Okay, with one box of broth, that covers all the beans, okay? But I expect they're going to swell up more when I cook them. So I'm going to go with another box of broth. Not to mention, I'm fixing to be adding carrots, celery, onions, ham, and cabbage. Not to mention the tomatoes into this bowl, this pot. Oh yeah, it's going to take all those good things. All that goodness is going in there. So two boxes of broth looks like it did it. I'll show you where it brought it to and what it looks like here in just a second. Throw those in the trash. Camera out. Off the refrigerator. And there we go. It brought it up a little bit above the halfway level on my pan. Well, about halfway. That brought it up to about halfway. And I can't tell you how big this pot is, but it's the biggest pot I got. All right, let's put that on the stove and get it going. I'm gonna boil this. I'm gonna just put that burner on 9, right there like that. And to boil that much, I'm gonna just have to keep an eye on it. yeah, I'm not going to use my timer. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. And these 2 packages of seasoning that came with the soup. One is a ham flavor, and the other one says ham flavor. Okay, so they gave me two packages of ham flavor. I don't know why I'm going to be putting ham in it, but I guess if you don't have ham, there's your ham flavor. We're going to put it in it anyway. We're going to do that, and then we're going to put salt and pepper in here too. So, yeah, give me a second. Let me put y'all somewhere. All right, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. There you go. Y'all can probably see that. Let's add some ham flavor. Ham flavor. Looks more like powdered cheese that you'd put in your... Whoa. That one shot on out, didn't it? It was ready to come out the bag. That pig said, let me out! Let me out! Now, black pepper. I'm generous with black pepper. I love it. Black pepper's good stuff. And salt. Let's find some salt. I don't want to use a whole lot of salt at first because there's a lot of salt in ham. So I'm going to just use a little bit of salt at first. I'm going to be using real onions in here, but just for now, I'm going to go ahead and put some dehydrated onions in here. As you can see, I don't know if you can, but these are dehydrated onions. Not going to use much. We're going to put that in there. We're going to get this to boil. We're going to boil this up and get these beans cooked. Before we put in the ham, before we put in anything, we're going to get that going, get it hot. Then, once it's good and hot and boiling, I'm going to stick in the celery and the onions and let that cook. Okay, our ham's already cooked. Our tomatoes are soft already, they're in a can. So we don't need to worry about that. You can use fresh if you want, but I'm using a can of diced tomatoes in mine. So we got that right here. A diced tomato. I may use 2 cans because I like that. But the cabbage is also going to have to go in there because it's got to cook down also. We'll be right back, folks. I'm going to let this get hot and then we'll start cutting up our vegetables and get them in the pot. I'm going to add all of my chopped celery into a pan so I can just transfer it over to the other pan. Also, I'm going to take a bag of sliced carrots and I'm going to add those to it also. These are raw. I'm just going to drop them everywhere. Give me that carrot. Give me that carrot. Okay. I'm just going to add those to that. That's going to make it easier to put everything in the pot at the same time. Now, I still got to cut up some cabbage. I'm going to end up having to put some more broth in there, I can tell now. Just by the amount of vegetables that I'm going to add to this soup is going to make it very, very thick and very chunky. So, once I do that, I just want to mix all that up real good. With the beans and the carrots and the celery. This is going to simmer for about 2 hours. Once I get all the vegetables in, it's gonna simmer for about 2 hours. And then after that, it's pretty much gonna be ready to eat, but I'm gonna simmer it longer than that. I'm gonna add the ham in last. Actually, I may not add the ham in last. I'm gonna go ahead and add the ham in now, so the ham flavoring from the actual ham gets put in to that vegetables I'm adding. So I'll put the ham in as soon as I'm done cutting up the carrots and the cabbage. All right, I got all my onions chopped up to the desired size. I'm just going to add those to the pot. Same way I added the rest. I don't want to carry these across the kitchen. My cutting board happens to be set up on the opposite side from where my stovetop is. So I'm just going to transfer those over inside this saucepan so I don't make a mess any more than I already have. And then we'll cut up some celery. Sorry, not celery. That's called cabbage. Nope, that's not the dinner bell yet, folks. It's gonna have to cook some more. Anyhow, that's the onions. Gonna stir those in and make sure they break up a little bit. You don't want them all stuck together like onions are, break up those onion layers. The petals, call them petals, whatever you want to call them. Oh, this is vegetable ham soup with some 15 beans. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, wait till I get the tomatoes in there and the rest of it. Okay, got some cabbage here. Some leftover cabbage from a different, actually, leftover from last time we made this. My mom made it last time. I learned how to do it. So this time I'm teaching you how to do it. Break off some of that stuff I don't want. I like the lighter. I don't really care for the very green leaves on lettuce or cabbage. I like the inner, brighter, whiter, more, bright, the whiter stuff. I like the whiter leaves of the lettuce and the cabbage. They're, to me, more crispy. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that. Now, see, this has been in the refrigerator for about a week, so I'm going to go ahead and just shave that dark stuff off real quick. Very carefully without taking too much. And it probably turned dark like that because we used a metal knife on it like this last time we did it. I'm just going to discard that. Get it, throw it away. The air's gotten to it. That's why it's turned brown, because it's oxygen. It's getting to it. All right, I cut that off. Now I'm going to shred this stuff into the desired size pieces to go into the soup. So what I want to do is just, I want to do this where y'all can see it. So I don't want to do it on the wrong side, but I'm right-handed, so you're just going to have to, or I'm going to have to turn my neck around so I can see. I'm going to try to go about right there. That's about good. Yep, piece of cabbage, piece of cabbage, piece of cabbage. That's about good. I think I'm going to go about, cut that in half. Remove that part. It's a little brown right there also. All right. Do some more. You can put as much cabbage in there as you want. This cabbage really makes the soup very good. Cut that right down the middle. Cut those larger pieces in the middle. Okay, that's probably enough cabbage for the soup. There's some pieces in the middle. They'll cook down, but I'm gonna pull them out, those center pieces, because I don't want those in there. I just want the leaves. See if I got any more. All right, that looks good, folks. That looks pretty good. All right, we're gonna put this in the soup. Hey Siri, hey GoPro, stop recording. All right, now we got our cabbage. Go on in there. Cabbage is one of the parts of this soup that I really enjoy the most, is the cabbage going in it. I'm gonna stir that up. See how thick it's getting? I'm gonna have to put some more broth. So you just keep an eye on it. If it starts to get too thick, depending on how much vegetables you put in, that's your decision on how much of each vegetable item you want to put in there. But I like a lot. So there we go. Next we'll put in the tomatoes. Actually, next we're gonna put in the ham. Forget me. Okay, folks, this is the ham I got. I found this at Walmart, back by the meats, and this is 1.68 pounds. You can use however much you want, but I'm gonna dump that much in there. I'm gonna put that whole thing in there, and the juice that comes with the ham. Let's put that juice in there too. Now, you cannot put that ham in there without trying a piece of it. That looks like a good piece right there. Mmm. Yummy. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, that's good. Now we're going to get the tomatoes, huh? Okay, folks, I'm not going to drain these tomatoes because I need some liquid in here. And instead of putting chicken broth in it, I'm just going to use the tomatoes, the liquid in the tomatoes. Now, this is one large can of diced tomatoes, 28-ounce can, 1 pound, 12 ounces. And I'll even rinse that out a little bit with the water and pour the rest of it in. First, let me stir this up. Y'all's mouth watering. You know, you don't have to use chicken broth. You can use vegetable broth if you want. I don't think they make a ham broth, but they have a vegetable broth. So you can use that if you'd like. I'm gonna go ahead and get this mixed up real well, and I'm gonna cover it and let it simmer for several hours, probably 4. And I'm gonna cook it a long time. I want all this stuff in here to be nice and soft. I want my celery to be soft. I want my onions to be soft. I want my cabbage to be nice and cooked. So folks, that's gonna be one bad to the bone ham soup right there. And actually, there's no bone in here. If you want to get a bone in ham, you stick the bone in there, and that bone, it will bring out more flavor of the ham, more ham flavor in there. That's usually how people would do this soup, is to put the bone in and just boil it down. But this is just the easy way to do it. From, you know, all the easier things you do, the better life is sometimes. I make it easy. Thanks for watching, folks. We will, I guess we're going to come back later and show you eating a bowl of it. So that's what we'll do. We'll be back in a minute, folks, when we get it done. We'll be back by the magic of YouTube and television or whatever. We will be back when this soup is done to share a bowl with you. So, folks, I'm coming in here about every half an hour to stir it. By the way, I went ahead and added 1 can of tomato sauce because I like it more tomatoey than it was. And you can see it's much, much nicer looking. It looked like dirty water before, but now it looks like tomato soup. And it's going to be so good. Oh, my gosh. That bacon, that ham. Hey, wouldn't that be a good idea to put some bacon in there? That ham, as it cooks down all day, I decided I'm just going to leave it on simmer all day and just let it just sit. I'm going to, periodically test and see, make sure that my onions and my celery aren't going to get too soft, because I like a little bit of substance to it. But there you go, folks. I'm just gonna let you know I stirred it. I'm stirring. I come in and I stir it up about every half an hour. And we'll be back when we get ready to eat some, which I hope it's ready by lunch time. Now, I started this morning at like 4 o'clock, and there's a big old piece. See, big pieces like that, I'm gonna take some scissors and chop them up, cut them up. They should fall apart anyway, but some fat will hold it together and some other stuff. I'll cut that up with some scissors. Anyhow, yeah, hopefully this is ready by lunchtime, and yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Gonna have to take a little bit of broth out and taste it just to see if I need to add any more salt, pepper, and maybe some garlic or whatever else other kind of spices I might want to use. We'll be back for dinner, folks. All right, everybody, our soup is ready. I let it simmer for about 3 hours, and I think any more, it probably would be mush. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off, uncover it. I went ahead and cooked up some of these. This is like a spiral, a spiral noodle. See there? It's one of those. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that in my bowl. I don't like to mix it with the soup. I like to just put some in my bowl, like so. I'll just put a little down in the bowl, and then take that soup and just, oh yeah, just do it like that. Now, let's go eat it. Okay. Let's see how this soup's gonna be. Adjust you guys a little bit. Maybe you can see my soup a little bit better. It's hot now, so I'm gonna have to let it cool off just a minute, but I think we can handle a spoonful for the show, for the video, just to finish out this video. I'm gonna just try to get a little bit of all that good stuff in one bowl, in one spoonful. And that's hard to do because those noodles are kind of big. Yeah, also, I like to use macaroni or elbow pasta in here. Goes good. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh Lord, that is just I did a jam up job on this soup. That is stupid good. Oh my God, that's so good. That's wonderful. It was ready for lunch, but we're gonna have it for dinner tonight, so I'm not gonna eat too much for lunch. I'm gonna wait until dinner time to chow down on this stuff. Need a little bit of salt, maybe a little more pepper in each bowl, but the whole pot's pretty much good for Ma. She don't do good with sodium. Too much sodium is not good for anybody, but if there's too much salt in here, her legs, her feet and ankles will swell up. So I try to make everything with as little salt as possible, and then just, add it to my serving and let her add a small amount to her serving. I won't let her make her decision on how much salt she gets, not me. That's up to her. So I try to leave it out, but that's My God, I did take the scissors to all that ham and cut that ham up into smaller pieces. All right, then. Look at there. I brought her a bowl. What do you think about that soup?
I like it.
Yeah, I got your approval? Man, that bowl's almost gone already. Wow.
It wasn't that full.
She must like it. All right, so I did a good job.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Folks, Mom has come into the living room. Let me do this. Asking for another bowl of my soup.
Holy
It'll be
cow.
hot. You said you wanted a full bowl this time. You got nowhere to put it.
I want you to
Get your...
open this.
Yeah, well, hold on a minute. Now I'm making a video. Hold on a minute. I'm making a video. Gotta have a place to get your plate, your tray. So she really likes it. In other words, she came asking for another bowl. Okay, you hold that really tight. I'll open that for you in a minute, and I'll get your drink for you. So make sure you don't drop that. You like that, huh? It's good stuff.
I never made anything like this. Don't tell me it's my recipe.
Well, I just added my own little click to it. My God. Man. Folks, that's bad as a bone. That soup is wonderful. Thanks for watching, folks. 15 bean ham soup. My God. That is so good. One thing I'd have done different was probably put a little bit more cabbage in there. Other than that, 2 thumbs up, and 2 spoons down my throat. Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.